Good evening, brothers and sisters, and welcome to the fifth talk in our Harvest series called Disciple Making Online. The title of my presentation this evening is Accompanying Disciples on the Road Towards Change. And this evening, I'll be sharing with you how to help people take small steps towards change lives online. It means that in our current environment and reality, given the limited opportunities for face-to-face encounters, how can we use the available means that we have to help people towards change lives? Let us proceed by presuming that the method that we are going to use, the vehicle that we're going to use, would be something like a Zoom, okay, or any other platform. What would be the basic rules? Number one, invite people first to big gatherings. Okay? When we begin to invite people, we don't invite them right away to a one-to-one Zoom meeting. Of course, it will depend on the level of relationship that we have with them. For some, you just have to begin by inviting them to a big Zoom gathering. For example, an open door. Okay, so that's a very good starting place to invite people because usually people would like to join events where they can literally hide, okay, or be off cam. Medyo mahiyain pa po ang mga tao. Okay? So, when we invite people to these big gatherings, encourage them and tell them, oh, see you, I will be seeing you there. And maybe during that event, tell them, I will be accompanying you, and you chat them directly. Tell them, it was good that you're here. Or I will invite you next time, huh? Okay? So, you just keep on inviting them to big events and just accompany them during that time. Remember that change does not mean big right away. Okay? Just like in any evangelistic endeavor, the steps are small and gradual. Then, maybe an opportunity would come when you can begin inviting them into some smaller groups, maybe into a sharing group or a Bible study group. But still remember that many people are threatened by meetings that will allow them to show their faces or even share. Okay? You know, there are Bible studies here in the Philippines or in other parts of the world, in Canada, where they will invite people and say, join us for a Bible study, 30 minutes only. Because understanding that the meeting is only 30 minutes, we say, okay, 30 minutes, I can manage. Okay? And you can even join off-cam. Off-cam, oh, I can join you. Okay? So, at some point, you just have to keep on accompanying them. And these kinds of Bible study, they even have what they call the course coordinators, wherein the job of those people were just to make sure that those attending these short Bible study groups will continue to be connected, reminding them that, okay, next week we will all again have our short Bible study. Please join. I will be giving you the link very soon. And then it slowly prepares the people, okay, to become comfortable in joining these virtual gatherings from the big to the smaller group events. You know, we have to remember that love and mercy begins when we are able to see people as they are. People are embarrassed. People are not easily outgoing, but we just have to see them really as they are. And change does not mean big right away. For many of us, helping people, accompanying people on the road to change simply means go. Go. Go and invite. Go and remind. Go and follow up. Go and teach. Go and make disciples. Maybe a second principle would be accompanying people on the road to discipleship requires accompaniment. Okay? Accompaniment. Let us presume, for example, that you now have some kind of a relationship. You have built a better relationship with this brother or sister, so much so that now you can send inspiring messages or share prayer petitions. Continue with that friendship and be consistent. You know, it's interesting to know that when you ask someone something like, "Is there anything I can pray for you?" Rarely would they say, "I'm okay. There's nothing too important." Usually, when you ask people if they have something they want you to pray for them, if they are confident with the relationship, they will tell you what they want you to pray for them. You know, one time I was in the Holy Land, and I sent out a message through FB and said, "I will be staying here in the Church of the Nativity for a day and have enough time to pray for people. If you have prayer petitions, kindly send them to me so that I can really pray for you during this time." And you know, I was surprised because message upon message, they kept on coming. People who knew that I was in a position and disposition to pray really sent their prayer petitions. Okay? Because people have concerns, people have worries, and all they need is someone who could accompany them in prayer. And we start by asking people, "Is there anything I can pray for you? Is there anything I can do for you as I pray today?" You know, important also in this aspect of accompaniment is that if they begin sharing something to you that would require some kind of an action, then you have to be sensitive and find out, how can I respond responsibly, okay, with this petition that has been sent to me. I received one text saying, "Brother June, can you please pray for me because I need to go to the hospital, okay, for a COVID test, and I have not been feeling well the past few days. In fact, I have not been going to work, and it's affecting my finances." And I already had the sense that this guy needs help. And what could I do? How should I respond? And I just said, "Brother, I hope you won't mind, okay? But do you have a GCash account?" And I know that he already understands what I'm saying. And I was able to respond well. Sometimes people would be sharing that they don't feel well, okay? They feel uh, disappointed, depressed. And you see, "Sister, may I have your complete delivery address so that I can send to you a box of Krispy Kreme?" Who would not be excited to receive, okay, a box of Krispy Kreme? After that, your friends, I'm telling you, okay? So we need to be able to see, okay, that we have to change requires accompaniment. I think one thing that's more important than all these things is the understanding of the medium is the message. The medium is the message. A few weeks ago, I had a one-to-one with my pastoral leader. It's the brother, in a way, who disciples me, who accompanies me in the journey towards discipleship, so that I can become a better person, so that I can continue to change. And in our sharing, he was talking to me in a very patient and respectful and yet straightforward way. And he was he was mirroring. Can you say that? Mirroring. He would say things like, uh, tama ba yung pagkaintindi ko sa sinabi mo? Yung tama ba yung pagkaintindi ko sa sinabi mo? Do I understand that when you said this? Okay? He was trying to mirror. Okay? And then he was validating. Okay? Okay? He would say, tama ka naman eh. Tama ka naman nung sinabi mo yan. In English, they would say, you know, you were right. Okay? When you said this particular thing. Okay? And he was also showing empathy. Okay? Empathy, saying, you know, I can imagine that while you're going through this, you felt unloved. Okay? You felt disrespected. Was that how you felt? And I was like, yes, 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 that was how I feel at the time. Okay? So in a sense, okay, he was mirroring, he was validating, he was showing empathy while deeply listening to what I was saying. Something that we can learn from. You know, we were able to talk about a lot of things that was happening to me in my relationship with my wife, my work, my finances. But after that virtual conversation, what stuck in my mind was not what he said, but how he said them to me, how he related to me in a very clear way. The medium is the message. He was teaching me to become more respectful, to become more attentive, more listening, but he was teaching me that those lessons by doing it himself. The medium is the message. Mirroring, validating, empathy, we can continue to learn about those things. But sometimes you're not aware. You don't even know how to respond when people are talking to you. So maybe some other examples, like I received a call a few days ago from a former student of mine, and I knew that he called so that I would just listen to what is happening into his life. And he began telling the stories. And I know that I just cannot be talking about myself too. Okay? I just need to learn how to respond to what he was saying. And I responded with 4 G's. Letter G. Okay? That's great. Oh, that's great. I'm glad that's great. Okay? And then I would say every now and then, ang galing. Galing naman. Yan. Ang galing. And every now and then I would say, ganun? Ha? Ganun? And he would respond, yes. Ganun. And sometimes I would say, grabe. Oh, grabe naman yan. Grabe. That's great. Ang galing. Ganun? Grabe. Of course, I'm not telling you that you will do that on a rhythmic, or you're going to do that only in a skillful way. It has to be sincere that you are listening to him. So much so that when you need to speak, he is ready to listen. And at some point, I knew that he was ready to listen. And he was sharing to me the things that he's going through. He said, alam mo, Sir June, kapag binato ka ng kalamansi, dapat matuto kang gumawa ka ng kalamansi juice. At pag binato ka ng lemon, edi gumawa ka ng lemon juice. Pag binato ka ng ampalaya, di gumawa ka ng pinakbet. So he was trying to humor the situation. And I said, galing. Pero sana wag mo rin makalimutan yung pinaka-importanting juice. Huwag mo kalilimutang lumapit kay Lord. And then the discussion became a little more serious. Kasi hindi na nga po ako nakakapagmisa ngayon sa dami ng pinagdadaanan ko. And I told him, alam mo, sa YouTube, merong online daily mass, 30 minutes lang. Kapamilya daily mass. At ang ganda pa ng mga homily. Okay? Subukan mo lang to. Okay? At least 30 minutes during your lunchtime. And it will help you a lot. After the conversation, okay, I just texted him and the link and said, okay, this is the link to that particular 30-minute mass. You know, we really need to take advantage of whatever is available to us. Because we have to be intentional. Disciple making should be intentional. The love of God is a saving love. He meets us where we are and He saves us from our situation. And that love is intentional. It does not just happen. He makes it happen. And therefore, helping people to change their lives, even in this online environment, has to be intentional. Disciple making online has to be intentional, and we need to learn how to do it. It begins, number one, by just seeing people the way they really are and understand that change does not mean big right away. Let's start with the small things. And number two, by just accompanying people with our active presence. And number three, by being God's medium, helping them experience God's love concretely, even in this online reality. There's still so many things to talk about, brothers and sisters, but for this time, okay, let's just believe that God has placed us in this time and place to intentionally make disciples and learn how to accompany people on the journey towards conversion, on the journey towards changed lives. If you have any questions, just write them down in the chat box and we'll try to answer some of them. Maraming salamat and good evening.